There are certain names that will forever go down in NBA basketball history. Michael Jordan comes to mind as the greatest of all time. Kobe and LeBron are more recent examples. Steph Curry, with the way he brought out the three-point shooting era, probably deserve a mention in this context too. But very few players actually changed, not just how the game is played, but the literal rules of the game. Before we continue with the video, make sure to leave a like, help this channel get the recognition it deserves, and let us know in the comments who do you think is the most influential player in the history of the NBA.
Keep it loaded when I rise, I'm still a nigga. I fuck where it ease my mind, I be in my feelings every single.
Trent Tucker. Tucker spent 9 of his 11 years in the league with the New York Knicks and had the distinction of being one of the association's first three-point marksmen. He even represented the Knicks in the first ever three-point shootout. Despite the fact that he won a championship with Jordan's Chicago Bulls in his final season, his career will forever be remembered mostly for one moment. In a Knicks game against those same Bulls taking place in January 15, 1990, with the score tied at 106 and 1/10 of a second remaining on the clock, it was Knicks' ball. On the inbound play, Mark Jackson saw Tucker was the only player open and passed to him. He proceeded to catch the ball, turn around and hit a three-point shot just before the buzzer, giving the Knicks the win. First-year Bulls coach Phil Jackson complained, and even though he was turned away, the league still changed the rules. Today, at least 3/10 of a second need to be on the clock for a shot to count. Inside of 3/10, only a tip-in or a lob can count as a basket.
So I had a conversation with late Commissioner David Stern about a week later. He said, well, Trent, this shot didn't count, or the shot should not have counted. But it's going to stand. And we're going to be forced now to change the rules. And I said, now, Mr. Commissioner, with all due respect, I beg to differ.
Reggie Miller. The greatest player in Pacers history, Miller was a Knicks killer and loved nothing more than to stick the dagger in the New York team and show Spike Lee that the Knicks were choking. He's not on this list for that reason, however. He is here for his tendencies to kick out his leg when he shot his deadly jump shots. This rule was approved long after Miller was retired, but it was named after him all the same because he was perhaps the most dangerous and consistent offender. The rule says that jump shooters who blatantly kick out their legs when they shoot to initiate contact with the defender and hopefully draw a foul and get an and one will be called for an offensive violation.
If your game plan is based on the manipulation of rules and that's what you're relying on, save it. Here's a real simple thing for James Harden. I've been saying it all year. Hit your shots. Don't be looking for the referee to bail you out. Hit your shots.
Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq really was a Superman. Throughout his 19-year NBA career, he was pretty much unstoppable. He wasn't a particularly versatile player, but the things he could do, he did better than anyone else in the league. Except shooting free throws, obviously. The Hack-a-Shaq was first invented and utilized by Coach Don Nelson when he coached the Dallas Mavericks, but it later spread to pretty much all of the teams playing against him. The idea was to intentionally foul the big man, even away from the ball, to send him to the line. Since he couldn't shoot free throws to save his life, it was a low-risk strategy of getting the ball back without too much fuss. It's patently unfair, and even though Shaq didn't play long enough to see it banned, the league decided to take action against it before the 2017 season. Any foul now committed in the last 2 minutes of any period, even the first quarter, will give the fouled team one free throw but also possession of the ball, making it pointless to intentionally foul.
We had a discussion about the so-called Hack-a-Shaq, and I know we sent a release out already. We adopted a new rule there. I would say it's not everything that some people were looking for us to do, and it was a compromise. In essence, the rule is now that the last 2-minute rule that's been in effect for almost 40 years now is now in effect for the last 2 minutes of every quarter. And in addition, we wanted to ensure that players would not be jumping.
Allen Iverson. For years and years, the NBA maintained a clean image in trying to appeal to the fan base. Then came Allen Iverson. He will be remembered for a lot of things. He was the shortest player to ever win the MVP and crossed over and scored on Michael Jordan in his rookie season. But he also changed the NBA's culture. It was so long that we might take it for granted now, but Iverson was the first player to really popularize hip-hop swagger in the league. With his cornrows, tattoos, jewelry, and arm sleeves, he became a style icon that countless players picked up after him. The NBA didn't like this development, and so in 2005, while he was still around, demanded a dress code, the first pro league to do so. Players were now forced to wear business casual clothes, both before and after games. The move had a lot of players against it, and Iverson himself, who famously said, "Just because you put a guy in a tuxedo doesn't make him a good guy." I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like to help this channel get the recognition it deserves. It would be very, very much appreciated. And let us know in the comments any ideas for future videos. With that being said, have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out.